Dobar dan svima. Vaš vas je vidjeti lijepo ovakvom finom broju. Evo danas smo dobili priliku malo da razgovaramo o nekakvim, ajmo reći, malo softverima i detaljima koji neki put znaju biti dosadni, ali u načelu ih pokušavamo uvijek malo prezentirati kao neke tehnologije koje se koriste već određeno vrijeme, ali možda nisu u potpunosti definirane ili nije se dosta o njima razgovaralo. Pa evo, danas ćemo iskoristiti tu priliku ovih 45 minuta. Ono što bih htio odmah na početku reći, to su dvije stvari. Postavit ćemo vam pitanje na kraju, vaše iskustva, ko koristi softvere za integraciju sustava tehničke zaštite, ako ste voljni reći. A druga stvar, razgovarat ćemo na engleskom, tako da se nadam da to nikome neće biti problem. So guys, thank you for coming. It was a pleasure to see you today here. And yeah, the topic is not hard. You are professionals in this. So let's explain a little bit more. First of all, I would like for you, each of you, to present yourself shortly, and then we can jump on the topic.
So, welcome everybody. Thank you for having me here. My name is Piotr Rogalewicz, and I'm responsible for the market for the Adriatic region and Poland in Genetec.
Honored to be here. My name is Joni, Kervinen, Abloy, Finland. I work mainly with integrations and partnership in the Nordic area, but also helping here our local colleagues like Dejan here.
Hello everybody, I'm a local, so my name is Vito Lalić. I'm responsible for the business development in video solution services at Konica Minolta.
Thank you guys. So let's jump to some questions. So physical security information management, generally, what is the situation about that in today's security world? Is this something which is growing? It has some future, or what are the, how to say it, situation with your partners that you're working?
Well, maybe to start from our market, or how I see it. I think this, of course, this varies market by market. There's different kind of maturities in the market, that how customers have adopted different kind of solutions. And how we see it in our market, in domestic Finland, we see that big customers have usually lots of different solutions from different ages, legacy systems, new systems, and they struggle with the fact that how I run and manage these softwares, because there's lots of things, there's lots of data, and it's difficult to manage. And I think that at least here in Finland, there's clear need and trend for working well-reliable SIM solutions to comprehend the data, to unify it, and then to be more operable so that you can actually get the results out of one single system instead of like multiple.
Piotr.
In my region, so it was Poland and in fact Adriatic, I see that PSIM is mostly like interim solutions. Interim solutions which can combine the systems which are not created to work with each other into one ecosystem. So it is like some kind of solution where you can connect those systems, but at the end of the day, what I see from my practice, the end users, especially the enterprise grade plus the public sector, federal sector, they want to, at the end of the day, unify it into the one solutions without PSIM, in fact. But also there is a second type of the customer, which are companies which are used as an outsource force for the many companies, so they have to combine multiple systems, and the PSIM is the target solution for them. They can combine a lot of systems for their customers. In example, for the common service security center for the end user, and yeah, and here I see it's really useful, and the market is growing in that way.
Yeah, I will have a more critical overview, as usual. From my perspective, that the SIM market in our region is very low. What we see that companies, I'm not saying maybe in the public sector, but let's say in the private sector, are still thinking that the SIM solutions are very expensive. And this is the first stoppage, one of the first stoppage we encounter. Secondly, when you manage a PSIM, you need to have someone who knows what he's looking at and how it's managing the system at all. So Maybe now with the growing of the corporate security, with the growing awareness of that we need to have a security department inside of a company, we will maybe have guys or people which are looking at these kind of solutions and know how to translate this data to their company. We will try to say today that PSIM solutions are not so expensive and that they have a good return of investment, of course, and they are helping actually the companies, especially with the large companies with multi-site locations, multi-brands, like you said. So, in my opinion, the market is really, really low, but of course, this is a good opportunity for us to expand. Yeah.
But okay, you now mentioned that it's really low. What is real reason behind? Because not understanding what does it bring to them, or it is only the price, or it is something third?
It's actually a combination, because in the not just in the Croatian market, but also in the Adria market, like our colleagues mentioned before, different brands. You have a company which can have 3-4 types of or brands of, for instance, video surveillance. So not all PSIM solutions are completely agnostic. You need to develop the connectivity to the technology. So it's very hard to find a brand which will say, okay, I can connect this, this, and this. I have 4 types of central alarm units. I have 5 types of fire systems. And then when you start, scratch the surface a bit, then questions arise about maybe more investments to put it all under one umbrella. Of course, we see that the PSIM solutions are definitely trying to be more agnostic. Now we are going back to I think 2 years ago, where we had a panel, what is happening, for instance, with the alarm systems. They are not developing. Alarm fire systems are not developing in the same type of technology, for instance, as video surveillance. So they are staying more analog, which is very hard to take these impulses and translate them. So a lot of questions, we can have this panel for not 1 hour or 45 minutes, we can have it for a couple of days, but it could be a separate kind of conference in the end.
Yeah, that's for sure. What I would like to add on this, what I saw it in the market, maybe 2 of you can add on this, is the same thing like in, for example, Finland and Poland. But what I see here, we have domestic companies who are developing the PSIM. And sometimes I get a feeling that the customers which they already started to work with are not patient enough to wait for them to develop some additional features, which is basically request from the customer, but they expect that happen in 1 week or something like that, which is, of course, not possible. Which, from one side, I support those our local producers, and I think that they should persist in this way of working. How it is in Finland? Is the struggle like here, or it is?
Yeah, wanted to comment on that of course it's a matter of business also. The PSIM companies, they don't do it for fun, so you need to have the business behind it. And the more fragmented the solution portfolio gets on your area, more difficult it's because you need to make the connector to each one of those. And then every customer is like, but you don't have that one, but we can build it. So of course it's difficult and a matter of business. But I can also see that when there is enough, so let's say reasonable penetration for certain solutions where there isn't native integrations in between, and you can prove the value for the customers that, hey, did you know that you can do this and that through our solution? Then you can actually start doing the business with the PSIMs. What was the question about Finnish market?
What are the, struggles which local companies have for integration? If you have a local producers who are doing the PSIM, what are your, for example, things when you did the integration together with them? Was it going smoothly? Was this something that customers not like it?
Yeah, we have a couple quite advanced PSIM companies there in Finland, and I must say I'm really surprised how well they have took the market position with their PSIM solutions. And obviously it's a matter of how we have played the game, doing the integrations or letting third parties or someone else doing the integrations or not. And as we can know that even though we are Assa Abloy and we are offering the overall solution, but it's never the overall solution for the customer. There's so much more behind that than our access control or intrusion alarm system or the video surveillance. There's always much more.
Piotr.
So in Poland, what we are doing, in fact, we are not promoting PSIMs. I will be like a fox in the house. What we are doing for the biggest customers, we are promoting, we are recommending the unified solution. Why? Because with the unified solution, you've got like one system for access control, video, LPR, SIP, so on. Of course, with vendor agnostic approach, which is, in my opinion, very important. There is a second approach, PSIM plus different vendor for access control, different for the video management system, which is like, I think, this is the step as an interim solution for this unified. And the third, which I think is the worst, and I think we've all agreed that this is relying on disconnected system, which is obsolete. This is the past. So just like to summarize, in Poland, we are going through this unified solution, and we see that it's not only Genetec, because let's say it is our core, but we see that the other vendors also, it's like they are trying, and they are doing, in fact, they are adding another functionalities for the backbone of the security platforms, yeah?
Yeah, I can agree quite much of that, but then of course it's a matter of that what kind of customers you have. Is it a new system, new site that you are building? Of course it's easier to get one provider to fill all the needs. But reality quite often is that customer already have sites and plants that to run and operate, and it's a matter of the investment, that are they able to put such a big amount to invest completely new hardware, new solution from the scratch, and usually not.
Usually, definitely not. But when you mention this unified solution, so just for the people to understand what is the difference between the unified solution and PSIM solution, because basically from the point of view of the customers, what I see is some kind of user interface where I get all the data. I don't care what is happening behind. I mean, for some of them, they don't care. They just want to see the results of the interface of some kind of centralized system.
The main difference is that like PSIM-driven solutions, the PSIM connects the systems which have not been created to work with each other. At some point, because of the business need, someone decided, okay, I want to no longer rely on disconnected systems, so let's like connect it on something. So you have like a PSIM, you've got different access control, VMS, so you have to keep the with access control, VMS and LPR and PSIM, you've got 4 systems. With Unified, we've got only one. One GUI, one interface, one interface, then one onboarding for your operators, one onboarding for your administrators, one service and maintenance agreement. So I'm not telling that there is no space for PSIM, because for some customers, and also we have a good experience with PSIMs. I will tell it later when we will go through these success stories. So we've got very good examples, but the target solutions, in my opinion, what we are recommending to our end user is unified.
Okay. Today is everything about data. So how the data is handled in PSIM? How secure this data is? What do we do with this data? How big they are? How we are playing with that?
I think, yeah, you're right. We're talking about data. And when you have a big site, big customer, you have, let's say, 5, 10 different systems. Imagine the amount of data rows you get per day out of that kind of system. It's not hundreds or thousands, it's hundreds of thousands or even millions. So we come to the fact that there is no company has such a work power to monitor all the data rows. So you need to be clever than that. That is also where PSIM solutions usually help, that they can, with smart, modern tools, help of AI, they can start analyzing the data and analyzing the patterns for you. And even the patterns that you weren't even realized that it's possible to analyze because it's come from different systems. And of course the history and past has been that you have multiple systems to monitor and watch. And now you can have actually one solution which does that for you. And it doesn't end only there that, okay, now it's analyzed, now I know the patterns. but it's also about that you can actually start controlling the different system based on the data you have collected and analyzed.
Maybe something to add?
Yeah, I mean, the data is there, but it depends who reads it and how it gets read. The data you can use for prediction, right? So this is the idea, to collect the data not just for the alarms, but also to see what could happen the next day, on the next month, on wherever. So, like I said, it's a bit difficult to discuss with the end user because he doesn't have an idea, or he doesn't have someone, because it's also a cost to hire someone who can do this, to read the data. It's also a cost. Like I said, we are going back to I'm going back to my original point that the cost effectiveness of the whole system is crucial. If nobody reads the data, it's simple as in video analytics. So you have a retail shop, some cameras are doing people counting, or they're doing heat maps. If somebody gets the report and doesn't know how to translate it to the management, how to use this data, all system is useless. Doesn't matter if it's 500 euros or 500,000 euros. So this is, the idea would be that we can have more trained people. Trained doesn't mean super expensive, just so you know, from the employer point of view. But the data needs to be handled by the end user in a way. We can provide it. They need to read it. It's useless if they don't.
Piotr, you're coming from a Genetec, so you're collecting a lot of data. And from your experience, what is happening with this data? Does the customer really use it to do something with that? Or they just saying, okay, we have a lot of data and close the door and go out and that's it? Or
it depends on the customer and of the maturity of this customer. So some of the customers with they have a Genetec, they have all the tools and they are using it as a simple VMS. And we've got such customers. And some of them, they are squeezing it like a lemon, and they're doing I think magic with the system. So they are they care about the data, about the protection of the data. I would also like to go back to what my colleague says, what Joni said, which is, I think, most important right now. We are focusing on securing the data and the threats from outside. And what is, I think now, we should put emphasis what is doing inside network. This is it. And this is when we should monitor, proactively monitor, we should use the AI solutions to monitor the traffic and anomalies of the traffic inside the network, not only the threats from outside. And I want to also go back what Vito said. And I had the situation with there is, at the end of the day, it is economy. And I had the situation with one of the retail chains when the security manager told me, I don't need the sophisticated security platform because even my goods will be stolen from the store, it is less expensive than the system. You propose me to protect those goods. It is, at the end of the day, there is a money and there is this economic calculation, yeah?
I want to comment to that, and what comes to this overall when talking about SIM and connecting multiple different softwares and solutions, it's not about how people can work with those. It's about how these joint solutions can help people to work better and more efficient. And when it comes to the data amounts, I had a good example from my colleague from Finland that it's easy when you have 2 cameras to monitor. You're on the control room. I can watch these 2 videos, no problem. When they got 200 cameras, they got a bigger screen, and all 200 cameras were there. Is it really possible to monitor those effectively? No. You need to have smarter diagnostics and operations to run those. It's not only about the data, it's how you use that and what you can do automatically based on the data.
I would just add, okay, we are now talking about some data that's coming from the system, but from the management point of view, from the customer, how the PSIM can work and how can speed up the work, the whole process is, for instance, you can have in a PSIM, you can have work logs, operational logs. You can give a task to a guy who needs to call some company to exchange the battery in the alarm system, and you can track these logs. So you can add more processes to the, it's not just a platform you watch, or just to connect this camera to that fire detector, or that access control reader to that camera. It's really more than that. So you can reduce any kind of downtime or predict that there will be a downtime quite soon. So we're not just talking about that some data is coming, somebody needs to. Yes, but PSIM is definitely more. Difference between a VMS, let's say, platform, we are also in a way promoting that today in 2025-26, you have a VMS which is capable of collecting APIs from agnostic systems and make them work together. In a way, you can exchange or replace a PSIM depending on the customer needs. Not every customer needs a PSIM, not every customer needs an integration. Of course, it depends. But PSIM is, let's say, another level. You can add building management there, you can add different types of technologies inside. It's not just technical security. It's really, really more than that.
This is something that was basically going in direction of my next question, is that all this data, which are really huge, can we use it for something else as well? Not only for the security that we are saying, okay, we have alarm here, we have incident here, we have, I don't know, time for the maintenance. We know that all these things we can basically, this is something which is standard, but can I use it for something else except of the security? So, for example, to know that I have to do maintenance on something which is not a security system.
Yeah, definitely. I think the safety is good brother of the security, and you can start actually. What comes to these like video cameras nowadays, they're really smart devices. They do lots of stuff on edge side, and they send you inputs to the systems. And I had a really good example from a customer case in Finland that they have a factory area and they have a really strict speeding limit, 30 kilometers per hour. And the modern cameras can actually detect the vehicle speed. And if you overspeed, your access rights will be automatically banned from the site. You are not allowed to enter the premises anymore with your car or truck. And I think it's combining the security and safety also.
Okay, one question which I have for all three of you. When we are speaking about PSIM or unified solution, can you name 2 or 3 really good cases that you had that customer said, okay, this is what I asked, this is what I need, and this is what is satisfying what I requested from you? Or it is always some problems that we misunderstood with the end user?
No, I mean, it's about the listening to the needs of the customer. For instance, we are now in the project that we have this customer with a lot of NVRs, really low-tech, let's say, NVRs, and they do not know if the cameras are recording or not, because that solution they have, they can only access it if know this information if they're trying to access the NVR. Let's say that this customer has more than 1,000 cameras, so it would be impossible for them to go through each NVR, each site, each 1,000 cameras and see if it's recording. One of the purposes of the PSIM is the technical monitoring of the system. So you can get 10 informations. Is it recording? Is it not recording? Is the disk okay? It's not okay? All this stuff these critical messages can come to you. So it's extremely beneficial to get this information. Other case was actually for a regional company of ours. This is concerning all of the people here. So imagine a company that's functioning in 5 countries, having 2 security, let's say, guys working operationally in 5 countries. Just 2 guys handling the fire systems, the physical security companies, the alarms, the video surveillance. We are talking about thousands of cameras. We are talking about 20 sites, huge sites, etc., etc. So what would help them? A PSIM, because they can get a mobile notification. They can know, they can correlate a sensor and the camera. So he can get a video verification of the alarm system and call the guy in Macedonia maybe and say, okay, you do not have to go out, it's a false alarm. Okay, 50 euros, 10 euros, 20 euros, doesn't matter, in their pocket. So different scenarios, different needs.
Yeah, this is what I realized through my 25, 27 actually years, that people are always through security are saying, yeah, this cost, but then they put them on the table that, okay, this is 1 hour of this person, this is 1 hour of that person, so you're already on €300 losing per week. So calculate, does it? Okay, sorry, but continue. Some good cases from Joni's side.
Yeah, maybe usually what I saw is that customers have different kind of security solutions, meaning that you need to manage your employees and users in different systems. And of course, if they're not connected system, then you need to manually or some other way keep those up to date. And it's lots of manual work. Companies nowadays, they always have HR systems and some kind of access control systems. And I think that is the quite basic use case for PSIM, to connect all the systems so that you can keep up to date your personnel, their access rights, and so on. And also one interesting part, not only the physical access, but also the logical access can be combined in the PSIM so that you can actually start monitoring overall, not only that where the person went and where has he or he been, but about the device usage and logins and so on. So it's, and talking about these opportunities, I think there is a sky is the limit there when you start really understand about what kind of data sets you have, what kind of possibilities you have to smoothen your operations and start doing those logical relations to control and run your system. I think it will be there.
Yes, and I can name one project. It is a PSIM project, in fact.
Say real names.
Yeah, I can say it's official public data. So Genetec is a backbone of NATO Eastern Flank Protection System. So we've got a huge system for the perimeter protection and monitoring of the border between Poland, Russian Federation, and Belarus. So the Genetec is the backbone, but this is like a thermal vision, night vision, video monitoring, their perimeter protection. But Genetec is connected to PSIM, which has been created directly for the border guard. So for their needs, it is faster, and with this solution, everything is created in the way how border guard wanted. So it was a full success. So we've done it in each stage in half year, including the construction site, and it was the end user is really happy with it. So it is because it is tailored solution on one side for their which will meet their expectations because of this PSIM, and then there is Genetec as a big solution as a backbone.
As a backbone, good. So basically, you can provide all functionalities, visible and non-visible.
Yes, and it is faster to do it with the PSIM. So it's a faster rollout. And one more thing, I will ask your previous question if I can. It is how we can use the security system to act not only on security purposes. We've got nice solution for the Gdańsk Medical University. They have a faculty and they are making some scientific work on DNA samples. DNA samples should be stored in a really strict humidity and temperature regime. So, but the scientist usually stays there from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. maybe. But if there will be some anomaly with the humidity and temperature after it? So we've connected the humidity sensors, temperature sensors inside the lockers to Genetec Security Center, and the security operator, which is on site 24/7, he can react via because there is also the decision support system. When there is some kind of anomaly, he is informed and he can contact the scientists to act and to prevent destruction of those samples, which are really super expensive.
No, we are also doing some ideas similar with access control that can be done, I think, and colleague Vito is also have very good, nice examples. But all of this is basically we cannot escape from is, okay, we mentioned data, we mentioned functionality, and how do we protect this data? What is about the cybersecurity? How do you see this? Because most of this today, not most, basically I also like to say that it should be everything in cloud, despite the fact that nobody likes me to say that. But it is a fact that still today, especially from 2022, that a lot of, especially government, want to have on-prem situation. So my question goes to this direction. Cloud vs on-prem, what is better security? How we do care about cybersecurity of the PSIM, and what is the weak points of that kind of solution when we are looking through the cybersecurity opticals?
I think it's not a question if cloud is better than on-prem, it's different. What we are doing, we are promoting hybrid solution. On some sites, I think on-prem is a must. But there are, even in one organization, you have a site with not so much security demands. You can do it on cloud. So what we are doing, we are offering the hybrid solution. Some of the sites are on cloud, some are on-prem. So,
yeah, but in your solution, you're basically having some cyber security protection. So based by yourself, your engineers, you're doing it yourself, you're using outside company. How does it work?
We are doing constantly penetration tests, constant certification, and we are certified by the different governmental authorities across all NATO countries, in fact. Plus, we are using the external solutions like BlackBerry solutions to protect our, let's say, core product. Yeah.
Okay. I know my colleague Joni is working with the APIs mostly. How is this
maybe
secure?
Yeah, I want to first highlight I'm not cybersecurity architect. It's not my specialty. But what I have learned is that it's usually quite complex to start analyzing, especially when you're doing business. That no, but I want to have the on-premise because it's more secure. But yeah, but Google has like 100,000 cybersecurity engineers working with the cloud. It must be safe. I'm just trying to highlight that you need to take a holistic view to understand the real threats and what your organization needs, how you want to run it. And it's not only a question of cloud or on-prem. It's more, you need to take more holistic view to that.
Mr. Vito?
Yeah, this became a quick discussion about cloud, so maybe Piotr just said maybe a little bit clumsy. If it's not high security demands, then we can go on cloud. It sounds a bit like, you know.
We will come back to that.
Yeah, of course, every producer, not just ours, but for sure yours, everybody is very strict on the cybersecurity inside. It's important because you are building drivers between your solution, your PSIM, and, for instance, an access control producer. So you're developing driver to driver, so software to software. So what do you actually do? You manage the system. So in case of a cybersecurity attack, you could, in a way, open a door or open a gate, or what you can manage the system. So of course, cybersecurity is, as always, is extremely relevant. You know that I'm not a fan of the cloud systems because, unfortunately, where we live, in the Adriatic region, we still lack infrastructure. We discussed this before. In the south of Croatia, our business customers have low bandwidth. We cannot access the cloud, etc., etc. But we see that the mindset in most customers are, okay, we're going to do a virtual machine architecture, not maybe a cloud. The cloud is still expensive. So we are more on-prem kind of guys.
Yeah, why I wanted to raise this topic is that, okay, PSIM is something which is collecting a lot of data from this system, that system, CCTV especially, I don't know, access control or something like that. Mostly this data is about the CCTV because it is the biggest data. And we are speaking about on-prem, which means that customer needs to ensure that they have enough capacity, good infrastructure for that. But usually, even if they have that, I'm speaking from my experience, they don't have a people who will take care about that. And this is why I wanted to raise this question, is about PSIM is not, I don't know, a toy. It's a big tool which costs a lot. And my question goes to the experience from your side. All this on-prem, is it working really? Do they really care? Do they really ensure that everything's up to date? Do they really make tests of their own system? This is more or less the question. Because in the cloud, all the responsibility is on you. In that case, okay, we know who has to take care about this, etc. But when it's on-prem in the client infrastructure, then it's always, no, it's your fault. But basically, in most cases, it's not, because they didn't take care about that, because they don't have, how to say it, focused person who will take care about these updates and everything what is necessary in that terms. So your experience, did you have something like that in your career with different type of the clients, or how it is?
So
yeah, we can start.
Most of them on-prem are based on Windows SQL servers. So it's an environment that it's usually for, let's say, maybe a larger company, not a really small one. It's a known environment which they can keep up with. So we do not see an issue. They are not requesting that we get inside and do the updates, because actually they're not letting us. They are doing it by themselves. So regarding how they maintain it, it's okay. The issue would be if it's a Linux-based solution, because nobody is, or people are not keen on having it in their environment, because they cannot definitely maintain it by themselves. So from our experience, it's quite well accepted. And this is what you mentioned before. If you have it on cloud, then it's your service. It's not an installation. It's not a product like have it, just that's it. It's your service. So on-prem still.
Okay, so first of all, just I sorry you've misunderstood me about the security of cloud and on-prem. It's a matter not about the cybersecurity, but the end user, the client requirement for a data storage location. For some customers, it's impossible to store the data outside the country. It's mostly federal and governmental customers, so this is it. Also, answering to your question, in my opinion, PSIM is not an answer for the cybersecurity of whole ecosystem, because, okay, you can secure the PSIM, but still you've got like a free-for connected system, and PSIM will not give you this protection for those systems. So this is what I think. So. Yeah.
Well, okay. Maybe if you want something to add,
maybe
Joni,
to highlight that I also believe that there will always be different kind of customer needs, and yeah, I think there's a logical reasoning behind that. Of course, the on-prem solution, totally isolated from the external world, it must be safer against the external attacks. But like I said, I think both solutions, on-prem and cloud services or SaaS, they can be really, really good and secure, or they can be really poor with low quality and low security levels. Both can be done in multiple ways. So the holistic view to this. And when you start to have an on-prem solution connect to a PSIM, cloud, hybrids, you anyway need to open up your IPs for the firewall and so on. So it's really complex overall, and we need to make no mistake here.
Good. Let's not continue, because it can last, as my colleague said, for hours or days. Okay, let's try to wrap up this. AI is coming, or basically it's already came. And how you see that in the use of PSIM or unified solution. And, well, what in the next 3 to 5 years, how do you see development of this area when we are speaking about the security? Any order?
Well, from my point of view, is that AI will help to translate this data easier to the customer, to the operator.
So that we don't have to train the people to understand the data, right?
Actually, no. As you can now, you can make a song on your phone in a minute, or make a beautiful picture, or whatever AI is helping us today, or nice email, or LinkedIn post, whatever, which all look generic. For sure it will help. I think Genetec also has it, the Gen AI integrated inside to translate the images or the situations. We have it also in our VMS. So yeah, this will help them. to get the data as soon as possible and send the data whoever needs to be sent as soon as possible. Not to rely on the human factor, because even if we have a good operator, etc., he can have a bad day, you know. So this will maybe help us a lot. Who knows? Maybe it will replace the operator in total. I'm not a fan of it, but who knows?
But do you see this something which will come in 3 to 5 years? And generally, do you see, okay, concretely for our market, that this type of solutions, or shall we say, integrations will grow up, or it will be some kind of stable thing which doesn't move anywhere?
I would like to see more installations in our market first. Definitely. I'm not seeing it as a big revolution. Like, we will not have a completely automated standalone AI operational center which will be doing, you know, by itself, because then we are going the Terminator movie, etc. But I'm not seeing it as in this way. I'm seeing it as more data to be more concise and translated it very easily to anybody who needs to manage it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. I personally believe that we will have huge productivity leaps in the upcoming years what comes to the software development. I have already seen how much modern software teams and architects utilize the modern AI in their daily work, and the productivity is just booming. And by saying this, I also believe that we don't need to talk about that, okay, who will do the integration, who will pay the cost for that, and who will maintain it. Of course, there will be a needed human guiding and professionals to work with the tool, but I think that the productivity will be there, and I think the world, how we see it nowadays, it won't be the same anymore in 5 years.
Piotr, thank you.
What I truly believe is, I see it right now, not in 5 years. What we need right now is intelligent automation. Is a decision supporting. It's like automation of the processes. Is to digitalize the paper procedures to make this to ensure that the system can proactively guide the operator through the procedures. To build the situation awareness, to help with the large amount of data sources, large amount of sensors. This is what I truly believe, and I see it right now. We are calling it AI, but in fact it's AE, it's intelligent automation. It's intelligent automation, and this is what I see we need it right now, and it's started. Yeah?
Good, thank you. As I said at the beginning, if somebody wants to share their experience with this kind of system, it will be great. If not, it's also great. So, yeah. Well, thank you, guys.
Maybe a simple question. How many of you here have ever encountered a PSIM or have it installed in their company?
We are not asking you.
This is our market research, quite quickly.
Yeah, anybody from the company?
Okay, let's do another question. How many of you have encountered problems when you have multiple systems to run? Okay, that's why you don't need a PSIM.
Okay.
You don't need a PSIM for that reason.
We can discuss it later, maybe, yeah, in private.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you for your patience, and, well, we see you around. Thank you. Go and have lunch.